Afghanistan's Torkham border is packed with trucks. Every day, dozens arrived, filled with a lifetime of possessions. Entire Afghan families have been driven from the only land their children have ever known, Pakistan, like MOHAMMAD WALI.
We were harassed by police. They arrested us. They beat us. They wanted money from us. If we didn't give them money, they would take us to the police station. There was so much harassment, we had to leave.
Nearly every Afghan here says the same thing, that the pressure increased in recent months as Pakistani officials tried to force Afghans out by any means necessary. DOST Mohammed says Afghan refugees are being used by the Pakistanis as political pawns.
They disrespect Afghans there. If India does something good for Afghanistan, then Pakistanis start harassing Afghan refugees. Whatever happens in Pakistan, they blame Afghans for it. Even if a dog dies, they blame Afghan refugees.
More than 100,000 people have come back to Afghanistan in the past 2 months alone. For some, the first stop is here, a UN center that verifies their return. In the few hours they're here, they have mine awareness training. Afghanistan is the most heavily mined country in the world. Their children are vaccinated against polio, and they get cash, about $400 for every family member, to get them started on a new life in Afghanistan.
Between January and June, this center processed about 350 families in total. That's how many they're expecting today alone. And the numbers have been this high for about 2 months. Those who come here represent less than half of the returnees coming back from Pakistan.
Like the AKHUNDZA family. Because they didn't register in Pakistan as refugees in 2006, they say they couldn't get papers that entitle them to UN aid now. Nearly 40 years ago, Pakistan was a refuge for them after the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. But they say for the past year, it's been hell, and they were prisoners in their own homes. The men couldn't go out because of the risk of arrest.
Some Afghan refugees coming back have some sort of shelter or land, but we don't have anything. We came back anyway because we couldn't continue living in that situation anymore. My sons couldn't work there.
35 people live in this house with no windows or doors. They're barely able to feed 28 children and grandchildren, and there's no money to help Naqibullah, who's sick with polio and unable to eat. His father is frightened the family could lose even this rented house.
If someone comes and offers them more than what we pay, they will kick us out. Between 500 and 1,200 refugee families live here in this village, and they keep coming.
Like many returnee households, there's no sanitation or running water here, increasing the risk of disease. There's no school for the children, no jobs for their fathers. Afghanistan is unprepared for them and the tens of thousands more expected to return soon. Jennifer Glasse, Al Jazeera, Lasama Wiayla, Eastern Afghanistan.